What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I figured now would be a good time to talk about this. I'm going to call it the mystery made in Korea guitar. Could have had 100 different names on it. And the reason I figured it was about time is because I actually have this for sale and or trade. There's a specific guitar I saw for sale shortly after I got this one. And now that I have the Kramer, I've been kind of on a super strat kind of jam. There's something about the Kramer that just literally woke me up. This is a fantastic guitar, don't get me wrong. But there's a few other things for sale right now that I would rather grip my hands on. So I figured let's just have a look at this. Let's document it just for fun. There's really not much to it aside from what you see. It's in fantastic shape. Pay no mind to the floor. I sit here while I do my projects and I'm wearing away at it. And all the paint drips on the floor. I don't know if we'll ever get our deposit, but then again, I think the guy who owns this place will be dead before we move out anyway. Originally, this would have had only 3 controls plus the switch and the jack. The plate apparently was like lifting and bowing and doing all kinds of stuff. So the guy before me cut a new plate for it and decided to give it the, the 2-in-2 Les Paul setup here. 2 volumes, 2 tones. We've got a wraparound here. We got a couple of humbuckers, which are very microphonic and of the time period. The neck, I believe, is maple. If you look right here, where it's been worn away by cowboy cords. I'm pretty sure it was some kind of maple or light wood that was stained to mimic the old rosewood kind of situation. And you got your typical headstock. Again, there was 100 guitars back then, maybe even more, that had this headstock. Back of the headstock, nothing really too much to talk about aside from, the stickers here. And this crack right here. There is no break or anything that I can see. I think what happened was somebody cinched these 2 screws down and it created a kind of a line there. It's not structurally compromised in any way, shape, or form. But I thought that was an interesting phenomenon. It's plugged into the Black Star Studio 106L6. We're on the clean channel. Everything's at noon, and when I say everything, there's one knob. You can either go this way to be bright, you can go this way to be less bright. And me, I typically end up over here. I'm so not bright, it's not even funny. But I have it at 12 o'clock right now. On the bridge, everything's at 10. Real bright, real punchy. I have a small theory about these pickups. I don't think it's correct. Back in the day, especially during like the lawsuit era, you'd have a lot of guitars. I believe, not Aria, Electra used to use a single coil that was technically in a humbucking spot that looked like a humbucker. Somebody chime in and let me know more about that. But if I remember correctly, they looked like humbuckers. They were built kind of like humbuckers, but they were technically single coils. Very chimey, very punchy, telly-like, almost like a nice PAF, but with a little bit of a little less soul. I'm going to put the volume at about 50% now. There it is. Keeps the punch. I don't know if he put a treble bleed on this or not. I'm going to guess yes, but don't quote me on that. Because it doesn't really change much except for volume. It does warm up very, very slightly. That's at full, and what I'll do is I'll bring it down. Sounds really nice. I can imagine in a studio setting where that'll be really fun. So I'm going to bring it down just slightly, and then I'm going to play with the tone. Now I'm going to put the tone all the way back. Because it's one of those tones that it's kind of like all or nothing. Did you hear that click? Listen. It doesn't really do anything until you get all the way to the end, so it still sounds kind of nice. I'll give it that. Let's go in the middle. Let's go in the middle. Do a couple chords. Tell me that doesn't sound nice. Take the volume down just a little bit on the neck. And what happens is it keeps kind of the chime of the bridge, and the bridge takes over a little bit, but it's got that mellowness of that middle tone. I don't know how to describe it. Turn the neck volume down a little bit. Maybe engage the tone a little on the neck. The bridge rather, sorry. While keeping the neck all the way up. We are now on the neck. In a rush to sell it, honestly, but I would like to get that other guitar where I'm thinking about more than keeping this one. But that neck position is where this guitar shines. It is just so heavenly. In the ad I said clean tones. It says if God built the guitar itself. Maybe that's a little going too far. Maybe an angel built this guitar. As you can tell, I stay there, don't I? Let's put some dirt on it. That's the, we're going to start there at the neck pickup, because once we start getting into the bridge pickup, it starts really getting ugly. Real ugly, real fast. And I suppose I could have had an overdrive pedal put in front of the amp, but no, let's just go straight into the amp and just do what the amp does and see what the guitar can do with the amp. Because, I suppose if I put pedals in front of it to hide, it wouldn't be honest, you know? That is the neck. Everything is on 10. That's a lie. I just had the tone a little bit back. The gain is at about 50%. Tone is still straight at 12. And the reason we're not going to go any further into the gain is this is literally right where it stops sounding okay. I don't like this thing with gain on it. Editing Chris here. You know, in person it sounds very shrill. And I'm sure I could clean it up with the amp a little bit, make it sound nicer. But listening to it here on my phone while editing it in KindMaster, kind of sounds nice, but I haven't gotten to the bridge yet, so I guess I'll change my mind about that much. That neck position really did sound nice. Useful for somebody, not me. Middle. I'm not gonna lie, I like that. There's some rockabilly, there's some surf music hiding in this guitar, though it doesn't look surf. There's surf in this guitar. Honestly, if I had the money to just throw the guitar at somebody, I would probably throw it over at what's his name, at 60 Cycle Hum, Ryan. I'd Probably send it over to Ryan. I bet you he would love this thing. All right, bridge. So it doesn't sound bad. It's just very brittle. Very brittle, very not wanting to be distorted. And it is microphonic, though I don't have the gain up enough for you to really notice. I just put the volume down about a halfway, give or take. Let's just stick with that same. Again, it sounds fine, middle. Everything on 10. It's just not for me. And that right there is the bummer. I really thought that neck pickup was going to sound pretty sweet. I'm going to bring the volume down a little bit. Maybe engage the tone. So if you were to buy this guitar, might I make a few suggestions? One, replace the tone pots. Make them more tapered. Two, I don't know what tone pots are in there, but I don't like them for these pickups. I would suggest maybe orange drops or something like that. And three, stick with the clean channels. Stick with the clean channels. And again, people will say, well, why didn't you play with the tone? Because if I have to fight with the amp to get this thing to sound nice in a certain setting, then it really wasn't meant for that setting. To me, maybe to you, that's a whole different animal. But if I have to go up there and fight it just to get good tones and dirty versus the clean tones, yeah, I'm not doing all that. Am I saying it sounds bad? No. Am I saying it could sound a lot better with dirt? Yes. Am I saying that this is a clean machine? Yeah, I would stick with the clean. I would stick with clean on this one. But either way, there you go, guys. There's my made in Korea single cut, whatever you want to call it, late 70s, early 60s, up on my Reverb shop or local here in Massachusetts for a very specific trade. If you find the listing and you see the trade offer, you know, what I basically have this at is like $250 locally, because I don't have to ship. Because that's what I traded the V for. I was wanting $250 for that. The guitar wants like $180. So you can either give me the cash for it or go buy that guitar and come bring it to me and I'll give you this one. But I'm not going to tell you where to find any of that. Except for the Reverb shop, which is at $300 because of shipping. And that's that, guys. There you go. There you go. Pretty nifty guitar. I have hardly any gripes about it, aside from it just doesn't want to be a dirty playing guitar, and that's not its fault. It's a great guitar. It's fun. It's fun. It's not as lightweight as you would think it was for a thin body. It's really nice. I just wish I could tone these down just a little bit. But for somebody else, these are going to sound great. So guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're all doing well. And I hope all you dads out there had a wonderful Father's Day. And until next time, take care. Keep it real. And bye-bye.